Welcome to our conversation exploring isolation in the digital era and the power of real human relationships.
I'm excited to dive in. There's so much to unpack about why, despite our hyper-connected world, we still feel lonely.
Absolutely, it's like so ironic, right? We spend around 7.5 hours on screens every day, and yet our meaningful face-to-face interactions are dwindling.
Yep, right. And the research keeps pointing out that isolation is not just an emotional issue, but, a serious mental health crisis. Depression, anxiety, even increased suicide rates.
Exactly. It's like even though we know that real conversations and engaging with people boost our mental health, we still gravitate towards our screens.
It's an odd paradox, isn't it? We have all the tools to connect, but somehow the digital allure takes hold, and we end up, isolated.
Yeah, it's like we're caught between two worlds. On one hand, screens promise instant connection, and on the other, they strip away the quality of our interpersonal relationships.
True. And let's be real. Having a quick text or a social media like isn't the same as sharing a laugh or having a deep, long conversation with someone face to face.
Precisely. Studies show that quality interactions not only lift our mood, but even extend our life expectancy. It's that rich human connection that really makes a difference.
Exactly. Speaking of quality, I find it fascinating how this content brings in insights from John Gottman's research, right? His work, spanning 5 decades, tells us that, nurturing relationships properly is key.
Yeah, Gottman emphasizes that it's not just about being in any relationship, but having relationships filled with genuine, healthy connections. It's like his tools are designed to, improve our mental and emotional well-being through effective communication.
Absolutely, I do wonder, though, don't you think the emphasis on screen time might, overstate the impact? I mean, could there be ways to integrate digital interaction with real-life bonding?
That's a fair point, but the evidence seems robust. We see that over 95% of teenagers using devices before bed correlates with poor sleep and increased depression rates. It's like these digital habits are actively replacing deeper interactions.
Yeah, I get that. So, do we then, consider digital companionship, like those AI companions or, platforms promising friendship, as a solution?
It's tempting, right? But the argument here is clear. While digital platforms like Replica or even Digi-AI offer a sort of simulated connection, they just can't replace the warmth and depth of human relationships.
Exactly. It's like, a virtual hug isn't as comforting as a real one, is it? There's something about human empathy and the nuances of face-to-face interaction that, technology can't mimic.
Absolutely. It's like a painting versus a live, colourful conversation. Digital connections often feel shallow compared to the emotional richness of real human presence.
I agree. And I think the content really drives home that point. We need to actively work on deepening our relationships. It's not enough to just, check in online. We have to invest time together.
Right on. And that investment is crucial. It's like instead of defaulting to our devices when we're hungry for connection, we should pick up the phone for a conversation, or better yet, meet in
Yeah,
person.
I love that analogy. It's like choosing a hearty meal over fast food when you really need nourishment. And speaking of nourishment, what do you think about the suggestion that we have to approach our relationships as meticulously as we do work?
That's interesting. The idea is that relationships need as much, if not more, effort than our jobs. It's like, you wouldn't just show up at work and expect everything to be perfect, so why treat your personal connections any differently?
Exactly. And the benefits are tremendous. Good relationships can buffer stress, improve mental health, and even, help us live longer.
Exactly. It ties back to the idea that human connection isn't just a luxury, it's essential for our survival and well-being.
Yeah, absolutely. But here's a thought. How do we balance modern life? Because between digital demands, to-do lists, and, work pressures, it's easy to stick to our screens.
That's the huge challenge, isn't it? We need to be intentional about carving out time for people. It's like setting an appointment with yourself to connect with a friend, or having designated tech-free moments.
Right, like digital detoxes. It's almost revolutionary to say, let's put the phone down and actually talk to each other.
Exactly, it might sound simple, but it takes discipline. The content suggests that instead of turning to our devices when we feel lonely, we should proactively reach out to those around us.
Yeah, very true. And then there's the role of companies trying to fill that gap with AI companions. I feel like there's a bit of a red flag there, like a substitute rather than a remedy.
True, it's tempting to let technology fill that void, but as we discussed earlier, those digital interactions often lack the organic emotional depth that comes from human touch.
Absolutely. At this point, it's almost like a call to action, to shift our reliance back to human connections rather than digital shortcuts.
Spot on. The piece even nudges us towards tools and workshops, like those from the Gottman Institute, which are designed to strengthen real-life relationships.
Indeed. You know, I find it fascinating that the content highlights practical steps, like Gottman's relationship coaching and interactive workshops. It shows that this isn't just theory. There are actionable strategies to, enhance our connections.
Absolutely. It's about turning insights into practical habits. Instead of just lamenting our overuse of screens, we can get involved in building better communication skills, understanding each other, and acting on that knowledge.
Yeah. There's also this narrative of a societal shift. Even though technology is so ingrained in our lives, there seems to be an emerging awareness of the need for, quality human interaction.
Exactly, and it's like a bit ironic. Despite all our advancements in digital tech, it doesn't substitute the basics of human care.
But I wonder, could we ever find a perfect balance? Because as much as we crave deep connections, technology isn't going away.
True, it's definitely a balancing act. It's like the digital world is here to stay, but we need to consciously reclaim time and energy for real interactions, and maybe even use technology as a tool rather than a
Yeah,
crutch.
that makes sense. Sometimes I think it's like building a house. You need a solid foundation of human connection before you layer on any digital components.
Exactly, it's like a relationship house where the walls are built on trust, empathy, and intentionality. And digital tools can help renovate, but they shouldn't be the only material used.
Right. And it's interesting how the content essentially advocates for self-awareness, like noticing when you're sinking into digital isolation and actively reaching out to foster connections.
Yes, and that self-awareness is critical. Recognizing that, despite our tech habits, we need the warmth of togetherness is the first step to reversing the trend of modern isolation.
Absolutely. Plus, I appreciate how the discussion ties into mental and physical health. It reminds us that ultimately, investing in our relationships is also an investment in our overall well-being.
Right, because mental health isn't just an add-on. It's fundamentally interconnected with how we relate to others. And when those relationships are nurtured, our resilience, our happiness, and even our longevity can improve.
Exactly. Well, I definitely feel more, inspired now to, put my phone down a bit and reach out to the important people in my life.
That's the spirit. It's like let's all commit to more genuine connections. Even small changes, like regular meetups or turning off notifications, can over time make a huge difference.
Absolutely. And as challenging as it might feel to switch off the digital noise sometimes, the rewards of, authentic human connection far outweigh those temporary conveniences.
Definitely. So as we wrap up, the takeaway is clear. While our digital era brings many conveniences, the real magic happens when we prioritize human relationships.
Yes, indeed. And remember, folks, maybe next time you feel isolated, consider reaching out to a friend instead of just scrolling endlessly. It might just change your day, or even your life.
Exactly. Thanks for joining in on this chat, and here's to more authentic, meaningful connections in our lives.
Cheers to that.